Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me. This is Terra from the Northern Rockies Museum, and this morning we are going to be doing my absolute favorite topic. We are going to be talking about rights, and yeah, I know it's a weird thing to have as a favorite, but it's my favorite. So I hope you have your supplies. And so this morning we need our printables, and they are going to look like this. We have a paper dolls craft. And then we also have a handcraft and some construction paper if you want them, okay? And some scissors and some pencil crayons. And yeah, there's the big list right there, backwards land. I'm not gonna get this. So let's shut this off. I hope everyone had a really great yesterday, and I hope you have a really great today. The weather in Hinton, again, I did not jinx it yesterday by saying it was lovely. It's lovely. It looked like it was going to rain this morning. It's not going to rain, but I am going to take a hit of coffee before we get started here. My coffee machine kind of broke this morning and poured coffee all over my counter. So this is my first cup, despite it being 10 o'clock and me being awake since before 7. So thankfully everything's fine, and I really did get coffee, so we're good. So I hope all of you are well. Please say hi in the comments. Tell me who's here. I hope Malaya found us. And if she did, good morning, sweetheart. And let's get started. So I am going to switch screens really quick. You guys have watched me do this before when I can't get it right. So let's see if I can do it today. And then we're going to put no, wrong one, little in the bottom, and we'll flip over, and then I will make this big. Yay, it worked. So the question that we're going to start with this morning is, who's more important, human rights and COVID-19? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about both of those things, and I swear and I promise this will actually be fun. So the first thing that we're going to ask is, what is a human right? Any thoughts? Maddie is here in the Facebook comments. Feel free to ask her any questions that you want. And welcome to anyone who is watching us who isn't from Hinton. We are so happy to see you. So welcome, welcome. So what is a human right? And why would a museum talk about this? Well, a museum talks about it because the history of everything, the history of human, is a lack of rights or a lack of respect of rights. And the stories that come to us at the museum that we then share with you are generally stories of people overcoming that oppression or overcoming and overreaching the bounds that they were told they could meet. So a human right are rights that are endowed upon you upon birth, no matter where you are in the world. They're yours. And it doesn't matter where you're born. You can be born in Africa. You can be born in Hinton. You can be born in Bolivia. You can be born in Australia. You can be born in China. It does not matter. You are born with these rights. Now, they're not always respected, but you have them, and then you get to fight for them. So we're going to watch a little quick video here that's going to tell us in 2 minutes what a right is.
Oh, yes, of course. It was in the last century. Grandma and Grandpa's generation. Legend has it that there were still dinosaurs hiding in caves up in the mountains. But that is something we're really not sure of at all. Back then, everyone was recovering from the Second World War and its 70 million dead, the most devastating conflict in human history. So in 1948, to make sure such atrocities would not happen again, the search for shared values began. Why? Have people unite around a strong symbol, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. What is less known is that it was adopted by the UN General Assembly and has become the most translated text on Earth. But what are human rights? The rights you are entitled to simply because you are a human being. In other words, everyone benefits from them from birth, without exception or distinction. The idea behind it is that these rights are like needs. They are absolutely necessary to live well. Without them, it would be the law of the jungle, and you'd risk being beheaded if your government didn't like your Facebook status. In the Declaration's 30 articles, there are the civil and political liberties, such as the right to life, the right to vote, freedom of expression, or the prohibition of slavery and torture. Rights are interdependent, indivisible, and interrelated. This means that if a right is not respected, a series of other rights won't be either. If you are homeless, you live in the streets, so you can't sleep, You get sick, you don't go to school, and won't find a job. Violation of the right to adequate housing triggers the violation of the rights to rest, the right to education, the right to work, etc. These are economic, social, and cultural rights. Okay, so a great text was agreed upon, but who does what? Well, on paper, the state's mission is to take the necessary measures for the Declaration to be respected. But in reality, there are some very bad students. The Declaration is not a legislative text, it's an ideal. Its name says it all. It is a declaration. Therefore, it is not valid in a court of law. But most states have integrated human rights in their constitution. Therefore, they must guarantee them. You can defend human rights only if you know them. Everybody's role is to ensure they are respected. Collective conscience means that each and every person is responsible for everybody else's well-being. Therefore, we can all get involved, protest against injustices, and make the universal rights ideals succeed.
I'm sorry, I see that it's echoing for some people. I'm not sure how to fix that. Let me do a couple of clicks here and see if I can't make it stop. Let me know if it's still echoing for anybody, okay? So, I clicked back here. So let me know if it's echoing for anyone, okay? I know you guys are a little bit behind me. Yeah, it's way behind. It's weird. But I'm going to continue. I'm going to be watching your comments, so let me know. So, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. It does not matter where you're born or to whom you're born, who your parents are, what your government is, doesn't matter. Sorry, I have a cat trying to climb in a bag. He is not helpful. Oh, sorry, I hit a button again. My bad. Okay, so important rights for kids. They listed off 30. That's what's in the UDHR, or the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So the United Nations is exactly what that word means. The United Nations are a group of nations who are united under one ideal. And it doesn't exist without all those nations agreeing to be there and agreeing to talk to each other. If they didn't want to talk to each other, the United Nations wouldn't exist. So, what it means is that the United Nations exists because we want it to. It is not its own governing body. It doesn't exist by itself. And so the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was written in 1948 by Eleanor Roosevelt, who was the wife of the President of the United States. And it was ratified and agreed upon by all the countries that are a part of the United Nations. But there's 30. And who can keep track of 30? So the important rights for kids, we have the right to school, the right to safety, the right to eat, the right to rest, and the right to speech. There are plenty of others that are important for kids, but these are the 5 that we're going to talk about this morning. Pardon me, I swallowed funny. So you have the right to school, and schools and teachers need to be available to you. It's one reason why we're still doing schoolwork, even now during COVID. So you have the right to an education, but it's not safe for you guys to go to school because we can't keep social distancing at school. But we can do school at home. And so because you have the right to school, every nation has to make the effort to provide education to the kids, even if they can't actually get to the classroom. You have the right to be safe. And this is part of the reason why we all need to stay home right now. Because I have the right to be safe, but so does my elderly neighbor. And I could get sick and I could give it to her. And that is not fair. She has the right to be safe. I have the right to be safe. You have the right to eat healthy food. It's why the grocery stores are still open when lots of other stores are closed. Does that make sense? If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to try to answer them. You have the right to rest. It's why your adults make you go to bed even when you're not feeling tired, because you have the right to rest. It's why you have a bed. It's why you probably have super comfy blankets, because you have the right to rest. You have the right to share your thoughts out loud. Now, this doesn't mean you get to be sassy, but it does mean that you get to go outside and you can say what you want. It does mean that if our prime minister or our premier says something silly, you can go, wait a minute, what? You're allowed to say what's in your head, but you are not allowed to be sassy to your adults. There are limits to the rights to talk for kids. So I've got another video. I'm going to try turning off my sound on this end, and we will see if it doesn't echo for you guys, okay? So let's see if I can shut off my sound, and maybe that'll make it better for you guys. It's a cute little song. We'll just play a few seconds of it here. Okay, it has no sound. Let's turn it up then.
Not a raise of you, not a place to play, express of you. We've all got rights. We've all got rights. Gotta know your name. If you're not this cute, to get pushed around anymore. We've all got rights. We've all got rights.
I bet that song gets stuck in your head now. Kind of got stuck in my head too. I hope that fixed the sound. So, these are the people who protect your rights. First one, me. As a parent and as a neighbor, my job is to protect my kids and you and make sure your rights are protected. Next is your government. Every level of government in Canada is responsible for making sure that nothing gets in the way of your rights. Nothing can get in the way of you getting sleep, being safe, getting educated, being able to speak your mind, and oh, no echo. Excellent. So your government is there to protect you. Now, third one, your school and your teachers. Your school and the teachers make sure every day that your rights are safe when you're there, that you and all of your rights are protected when you're at school. And the final one is the United Nations. The United Nations sets the standards of human rights and shares the information with the world so that everyone has the opportunity to be protected equally and to the same standard. But they're not an enforceable body. So they set the standard and they say, you should be reaching to do it this well, but they can't make you. They kind of just use like a little bit of public pressure, like, hey, Canada and the United States are really good at making sure that their kids go to school. How come you're not? They kind of use a little bit of guilt. It tends to work, though, because human rights are expanding around the world and people are being protected more than they ever have before. And the most important person to protect your rights is you. Once you know what your human rights are and what your boundaries are for your rights, you know to speak up and go, hey, my rights aren't being respected. And you will know how to protect yourself and speak up. But here's the downer. For every right, there is a responsibility. And a responsibility is something that you are expected to do. And when you don't meet your responsibilities, there are consequences or things that will happen as a result of you not doing your job. So we're going to go through all of those 5 rights and see what our matching responsibilities are with them. And I have a cat who is attacking things again. That's the crinkly sound you're hearing. So you have the right to talk, but you have the responsibility to listen and let everyone else have their say too. You have the right to say what is on your mind, but you have the responsibility to listen to others and protect their right to talk. And you also have the responsibility to not hurt other people with your speech. For example, and this is a really old example, you can't yell fire in a crowded theater as a joke, causing people to panic and potentially get injured. And you can't spread complete lies knowing that they're lies, hoping that people get hurt. Your responsibility on the right to talk is to make sure that other people get to talk too, even if you disagree with what they're saying. But you can't say things that will hurt people on purpose or that will cause people to act in a way that they'll get hurt. Okay? It doesn't mean they can't have hurt feelings. We can all have hurt feelings. It sucks, but that's not it. But they can't get physically harmed by what you say. That's why you can't call fire in a crowded theater, because people will get scared and run. And the most powerful feeling that people have is scared. So we can't cause that. But we can say whatever we want. I can try to argue that the world is flat. I'm allowed to say that. I'd be wrong, but I'm allowed to say it. And other people have to let me say it. They can try to convince me that I'm wrong. They can talk to me and try to tell me I'm cuckoo, but they can't stop me from saying it. And if they are respecting my right to talk, their responsibility will be to allow me to say it as often as I want. I know. Sometimes our rights and responsibilities require patience, and patience is really hard. So you have the right to rest, but you have the responsibility to go to bed and get a good night's sleep. So you have the right to a good night's sleep in a comfortable, safe space, but you have the responsibility to actually go to sleep. You also have the responsibility to not stop anyone else from getting a good night's sleep. So, you know, those nights where you just can't sleep and you're super tired, and maybe you've got someone who shares your room and you're keeping them awake? Do you think that you're honoring your responsibility to not stop anyone else from getting a good night's sleep? Or maybe your mom or dad or some of your other favorite adults? Are you maybe not respecting your responsibility to not let them get a good night's sleep? It happens, but it's something to think about, because everyone, including your adults, have the right to a good night's sleep. I know. Rights and responsibilities are really hard. And it's one of the things that makes being a kid such a challenge, because you don't want to be responsible for other people, but we kind of have to be. So then you have the right to eat, but you have the responsibility to not waste food and to eat as healthy as you can and make good choices. So this right was written with a focus on healthy, life sustaining food. For example, maybe try the broccoli. Broccoli's delicious, especially in soup. Broccoli cheddar soup. I should make that today. But then I would have to go to the store and buy broccoli, so maybe not. But I am going to bake bread. Is anyone else baking anything delicious that they want to share with us? Some healthy, awesome foods? I would love to hear about it. You know I love to bake, so I would love to hear what you guys are up to. I have to bake a cake later for a friend of mine. It's her birthday tomorrow. And finally, the right to safety. Or not finally, we have the right to school after this. Oh. So, the right to safety. You have the responsibility to make smart and safe decisions. So, you have the right to be safe. Your adults have the responsibility to protect you. But you have the responsibility to behave in safe ways and make good choices about your behavior. And you also have the responsibility to help keep other people safe by not behaving irresponsibly. I know, that was a lot of big words, but you have the right to be safe. Okay, but if you decide to climb a tree 30 feet in the air and it has skinny little branches, and there's a really good chance you're going to fall and break a bunch of bones, do you think you're being responsible and trying to keep yourself safe too? Probably not. If you have the right to be safe, but you decide to play Frogger and run across the road in front of cars, that's not smart. Is it responsible to, is that part of your responsibility to keeping yourself safe? No. So you have the right to be right to safety, but you have the responsibility to make good choices to keep yourself safe. Guinea pig treats. Oh, you did just get a guinea pig. I saw the pictures, Malaya. Very cute. So, the right to safety is a challenging one, but you always have to remember, is my behavior going to put anyone else at risk? If it will, if it has the risk of hurting other people, maybe just take a second and go, am I respecting everyone else's right to safety by my behavior right now? If the answer is no, or maybe not, maybe rethink what you're doing. Like if you're playing with matches, do you really think you're respecting everyone else's right to safety around you when you might light something important on fire? Probably not. Okay? So, we're not going to play this one yet. we are going to do one of our crafts. So I would like you guys, I'm just going to switch over the screen so that I can see you guys big now. Put my little, there we go. Hi. Put my little final video here. So just going to move, there we go. Which craft should we do? I think we're going to do the hands one first, okay? So I'd like you to pull out your construction paper, and my cat took off with mine, so pardon me while I duck down for a second. He really did. He's a complete brat. So if you bought our package, you got a whole stack of construction paper, and you can pick whatever color you want. Now, anyone who knows me knows I'm going for the orange, because of course I am. And I want you to trace out two of your hands. I want you to trace out your hands. Now, you can trace out both hands individually, or you can cheat like me. I'm going to fold my paper in half. And I am going to trace it out with my thumb on the folded edge so that when I open it, my thumbs are attached. Okay, does that make sense? Hold up your hand onto your paper, and I'm going to put my thumb on the folded edge, so the edge that I folded, and then I'm going to trace out my hand and cut it, but leave the little thumb piece attached, okay? So let's all trace our hands. Pull out a handy dandy pencil crayon. Did you know that in the United States, they don't call them pencil crayons, they call them colored pencils? I know. Depending on the country that you live in, people have all sorts of different words that they talk about, that they use for the same thing. We were discussing that with my girls the other night, how in Britain, they call trucks lorries. I know. Or they call the trunk of a car a boot. Meanwhile, we put boots on our feet. Okay, so we're going to trace out our hands. Because the reason I love this craft is because the idea of human rights is that you and I are connected, and it doesn't matter where we live, because we're all human and we share the same rights. So, can you see my hand? I traced it out. I have a broken finger. It is funny. That's why my pinky finger looks weird, because it can't go straight. And then we're going to cut it out. So let's all cut out our hand. And do you see how I have the thumb on the fold, and I kind of let my thumb overhang a little? I'm not going to cut that. Does that make sense? Let me know if it doesn't. And tomorrow, for our final session of Quarantrain with you guys, Maddie is going to be making a really cool plate with you guys. No, I can't wait to follow along and work on that plate with her. And then we are going to continue doing some videos for you guys, maybe a few less than 3 a week. We haven't quite decided. We're going to meet and talk about this. And of course, meeting safely and respecting our social boundaries. And we were wondering, what do you guys want us to do? I put it up on our Facebook page yesterday, asking people what they'd like us to teach them, or if there's anything that you know that we know how to do that we could share with you. We would love to hear your ideas. We would love to hear your suggestions. So let us know. Put it in the comments. Oh, cutting out fingers is hard. And we all know how well I cut. So yeah, let us know. What would you like us to do? What interesting things should we show you? Somebody wrote broom making. I don't know how to make a broom. I've never made a broom in my life. I buy brooms. Never made one. I would learn how, though. That would be very cool. I know how to do a lot of stuff in the kitchen. I'm good at that. All right, last finger. So let's give this a try here. Oh, I cut it short, but that's okay. Nobody's judging. Because remember, this is your activity and your craft, and it doesn't matter what anybody else does. So when you open it up, aww. So on your sheet, there's something on the bottom called a template. I want you to cut out this circle so that we can trace it onto another piece of construction paper, if you want. Or we flip it over and we write on the back of the white part. Doesn't matter. Oh, I'm terrible. Cutting out a circle, my goodness. And then I want you to write out, so you can decide to copy this, or you can just use this. I'm just going to use it. But you can trace it onto any piece of construction paper. We gave you quite a few in the package. Or if you're joining us from home, if you have some at home, you can pick whatever color you want. Because remember, this is your craft and this is your stuff. So I want you to write a message on it. And it can be like a message for nurses. It can be a message for your neighborhood. It can be your favorite right that we talked about today. I have some favorites. So what I'm going to write on mine is, I respect your right to safety, because it means that I understand why I'm staying home, because I'm staying home to help keep everyone else safe. Because if I catch COVID, I'm pretty young, I'm pretty healthy, I'm probably not going to get too sick, knock on wood. But my elderly neighbor, the baby that just came home from the hospital that's across the street because they were just born, maybe they won't be so lucky, and I need to help protect them. So I have the responsibility to stay safe by staying inside, and the responsibility to protect them and keep them safe until we're told that the risk has been mitigated a little bit. Mitigated means less of a risk. So that would be Temperance giggling. She's watching some sort of show. I apologize for the noise. So I respect your right to safety. See? Can you see that? There we go. And then pull out our glue stick, and we're going to glue it in the middle of our hands where our thumbs meet. Except it seems like my glue stick wandered off on me. That's okay, I'll hold it up. Ah! And then I drop it. Oh. Sorry, everybody. So then you're just going to glue it right here, right in the middle. And then I'm going to put mine on my front door because I think it's pretty. And you can color and decorate your hands. Maybe you need to have painted nails. I never do, so I'm not going to do it. But maybe yours need to have painted. Maybe you need to put rings on your fingers. Maybe, I don't know. So let me know. Let Maddie and I know what message you put in your hands. I'm really curious what your guys' favorite right is, if you have a favorite right. Mine is definitely right to safety. Love that one. So the last craft we're going to do is our paper doll craft. So we have this very cute template on the back. And what we're going to do is we are going to cut out the circle. We're going to cut out this big circle. Do not cut the pie shape, just the circle, okay? Just cut the circle. Hello, Mary. How are you? Just the circle. Okay, guys? So let's cut out this circle. We all know about my amazing cutting skills, so as slowly as you need to go. Here we go. I hope you have a good pair of scissors. We're going to be cutting through some layers today. So around and around we go. Trying. Okay. It's kind of circle shaped. It's circle-ish. And as I always say, this is mine, so it's okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to tilt him so there's a straight horizontal line that you can imagine going across, and we're going to fold our circle in half. Along the bottom edge of the triangle and all the way across. We're going to fold it in half. If this doesn't make sense, let me know. Okay, if this doesn't make sense how I'm folding this circle, let me know, but I'm just folding it in half. Okay, then, I'm going to fold it in half again. So fold it in half again. And then we're going to fold it in half one more time. Have you guys ever cut snowflakes? I'm sure you have. This is very similar to cutting out snowflakes. And you should be left with a triangle that looks like that. So now, why did Terra get the cutting? We are going to very carefully cut out those people shapes. Fingers crossed for my cutting ability, everyone, because here we go. Hold it as steady as you can without moving it too much, okay? And you're not going to unfold it. This is just like cutting out a snowflake. Because what is the point of all human rights? Do you remember the video that we watched at the beginning of this? That everyone has them no matter where they're born, and it joins us all together in a standard of living that we are all entitled to. And yes, there are sometimes bad actors. There are places in the world that do not respect our rights, and we need to work to try to get them to smarten up and treat their people better. But it is one of the reasons, and I just threw my people. It is one of the reasons that we're being asked to stay home, because everyone has the right to safety, everyone has the right to rest. And my cat is eating things again. His name is Edgar. Does anyone else have a troublesome cat? Because I absolutely do. Oh, we're cutting on the inside now. And I love people paper chains. I think they're lovely. So cut as carefully as you can. Remember, if you mess up, there's a magical thing called tape, and we can just tape it together. Plus, it's yours. So, you know what? If I accidentally cut through the hands, I would just say, it's supposed to look like that. That's all. Because that's how I wanted it to look. Just change your mind on how you're going to design it. That's all. So does anyone have any fun plans for today? It is an absolutely beautiful day in Hinton. If you are not from Hinton, I would love to hear what your weather's like. I hope you've got good weather. I hope you have beautiful sunshine. I will be going out to pick up some more sap and get it boiling outside onto my evaporators so that I can make more birch syrup. I overboiled it a little bit yesterday, and I actually made birch caramel. It's good. It's not syrup, but it's good. And, oh, my last cut. So, it looks kind of like that. And then we're going to open it and see what happens here. Open it up. Oh, look at her little dress. And then we open it up. And we're all holding hands. We are not maintaining social distancing while we make this. But, aw. And you can decorate each one of these little people however you want. Maybe the ones in the dresses need spectacular outfits. I don't know. This is yours. And isn't that a pretty little snowflake? And you can reuse that template. You can print it again and again and again. It is on our website, which is really easy to get to. It's northernrockiesmuseum.com. I know. And if you click on the Quarantrain, which is that logo right there, if you click on it, there's a little animation that we have, has all the printables that you've enjoyed over this entire time. And you can print out a whole bunch of these because I love this. Super cute. Thank you, Maddie, for helping me do this because I could not draw the little people to save my life. And Madison helped me out, which was very, very nice of her. You don't understand the folding. So you're going to have your circle. I'll do it just quickly one more time, okay? You have your circle, and you're going to fold it in half. Just don't fold the triangle in half. Okay? So you're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to fold it in half again, and then you're going to fold it in half again. Just 3 folds, okay? We have the pictures right here for you so that you can follow along. And if you have any trouble, if that didn't help you, just shoot me a private message after, and I will absolutely walk you through it again, okay? We can make sure you get that done. I'm sorry, I was confusing. I understand. Sometimes I'm just confusing. Okay, so shoot us a message and I will try and help you out, okay? Yes, my cat is my house mascot, and he's run off with an earbud cover now. He thinks he's funny. Alrighty, so does anybody remember the video? It's actually a commercial from Australia called Dumb Ways to Die. The reason that I like to watch it, we're going to talk about it just a little bit after, but the reason that I like to watch it is the consequences of your bad decisions have effects on other people. And if you make a bad decision that's going to risk your life, are you respecting your right to safety? Let's think about it. So I'm going to pull it up and head over there, make it big, and it's going to get stuck in our heads for the rest of the day.
Set fire to your hair, poke a stick at a grizzly bear, eat medicine that's out of date, use your private parts as piranha bait. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Get your toast out with a fork, do your own electrical war. Teach yourself how to fly, eat a 2-week-old unrefrigerated pie. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Invite a psycho killer inside, scratch a drug dealer's brand new ride. Take your helmet off in outer space, use a clothes dryer as a hiding place. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Keep a rattlesnake as a pet, set both your kidneys on the internet. Eat a tube of super glue. I wonder, what's this red button do? Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dress up like a moose during hunting season. Disturb a nest of wasps for no good reason. Stand on the edge of the train station platform, drive around the boonies at a level crossing. Run across the tracks between the platforms. They may not rhyme, but they're quite possibly dumbest ways to die. The dumbest ways to die. The dumbest ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Be safe around trains. A message from Metro.
Whoops, how did I get back there? Oh. Here we go. Okay, so we talked about the right to safety, and we watched Dumb Ways to Die. And the reason, as I said, that I show you guys that is because I think that it is incredibly important that we all remember that our actions have consequences, and that when you choose to act unsafely, you're no longer respecting your right to be safe, but you're also not respecting the adults in your life's right to keep you safe. We can't keep you guys safe if you don't respect your right to safety and act responsibly and make responsible choices. Now, that's true for adults too. If you have an adult who every time they get in their car, they punch their foot and they're speeding and the speed limit's 100 and they're going 140, are they respecting their own right to safety? And if you're in the car, are they respecting your right to safety? No, they're not. Now, lots of adults aren't going to like that, but they're not. So we all need to work together as a community to keep each other safe. So I'm going to flip me back to my big screen and flip over. So you have the right to school. You have a responsibility to do your schoolwork and try your best. You have the right to be educated, and you have the responsibility to actually go to school and participate. But you also have the responsibility to not infringe on anyone else's right to school. And what that means is, infringe is a big word, but what it means is maybe there's somebody in your class that's getting bullied. And I don't mean by you, but by somebody, or they feel bullied. Do you think they're getting the most out of being at school? Are they able to pay attention if they're afraid they're going to get picked on for answering wrong? Probably not. If every time they answer a question, someone in the back of the room goes, "Ugh," do you think they're going to keep answering questions? Probably not. So is their right to school getting infringed? Is it getting stopped? A little, yeah. So we all need to work together to make sure that everyone's right to school and right to education is being respected, and that we are all responsible for making sure that each other gets that right to school. And I know now we're at home, but if you have brothers and sisters, they probably have school too. And if you finish early and you're distracting them by like dancing around the kitchen and cranking their favorite tunes and making a lot of noise, are you being responsible and respecting their right to school? A little bit, no. So we all need to remember, you have the right to school, but you have the responsibility to do your schoolwork and try your best and not stop anyone else from doing their schoolwork and trying their best. Okay? Does that make sense? So, how do rights work in a time of COVID-19, which is what we're in right now? So, your rights. You have these human rights no matter what's going on in the world and no matter where you are in the world. The government protects your rights. So, like I said, the government at all levels, your mayor, your premier, your prime minister, works to protect your rights and make them available to you no matter what, which is why doctors do phone calls now rather than going to the office if they can. It's why we do school at home. It's why grocery stores are still open, but other stores are closed. So you utilize the protection of your rights. You take advantage of the protections that are being offered to you by your government, like schooling at home, because the schools are closed, to try to keep us all safe. So rights and responsibilities go together. Without one, you don't have the other. Because if you just say, I have the right to say what I want, and everyone does, then nobody's listening and nobody's paying attention. And I have the right to be safe, but you can be as dangerous as you want to be. How can we keep you safe if you're pushing little red buttons and you don't know what they're going to do? We can't keep you safe when you do that. Or I have the right to have a good night's sleep, but you never actually go to bed. And then you're a cranky pants. So rights and responsibilities go together, okay? So let's look at the right to health real quick. So you have the right to access healthcare and the medicine necessary to be healthy. And that includes doctors, hospitals, and medicine that you might need. So your responsibility for health is to protect others by staying home, washing your hands a lot. Did anyone figure out a new song that you could sing? Anybody? Does anybody know Biff Naked? She's a really cool singer. She has a song that she does. You can Google it and it goes, now I'm blanking on it, but it's really good. And she washes her hands. Oh, I know. I wash my hands today, not like yesterday. I'm clean, I'm cool, I'm gonna be okay. And she keeps doing her song. It's really good. Your adults know this song. So you can further protect others by eating healthy foods, because healthy foods help keep us healthy, and getting lots of sleep. As I constantly say to my kids, what is the best medicine? Rest. Others protect you by staying home, wearing a mask if they have to go out and maybe they have a tickle, moving schools to home, and washing their hands a lot. So what are other ways that you are responsible for your own health? And what are other ways other people are responsible for your own health? Something to think about. Speaking moistly. Yes. So if we all work together and respect each other's rights and respect our own responsibilities, we will protect each other and get through this challenging time as quickly as is possible. It's not going to be immediate. Viruses don't work like that. But if we all respect that you have the right to health and you have the right to safety and you have the right to rest and education and on and on and on, if I respect that and I am responsible and you are responsible for your own rights, we're going to be taking care of each other really, really well, and we will get through this better. So I think that is the end of my little, let's hide this. So, yes, the talking moistly. Wearing masks in case you talk moistly. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. It really is my favorite topic. If you have any questions or you want to continue having this conversation with me, please send me a message. I am more than happy to give you more information about your rights and your responsibilities. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this with you guys. Tomorrow, Maddie is making that amazing, gorgeous plate with you guys. And the supply list is up on our website, which is again, northernrockiesmuseum.com. And we would love it if you guys could give us a like. And if you head over to our YouTube channel, we have all these videos. You can rewatch them, press pause when you need to. They're not live over there. And give us a subscribe, hit the bell so that you can make sure that you get notified when we post new stuff, because maybe it's not live, but we post fun stuff. You never know. It helps us out immensely if you subscribe and you like and you give us reviews. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it really, really helps us. So please, all of you, stay safe, stay home, and I will see you soon. I will be watching tomorrow with Maddie and commenting, and we will let you know when we figure out what we're doing next. I'm so excited. Have a fantastic, glorious, wonderful day, and I will see you all soon.